Ever feel bad that someone didn't return the favor when you gave them something? Being more willing to help others grows as we get older. As a result, we are more willing to share our time, knowledge, and even money. But despite what most people think, not everyone deserves your kindness. People who take advantage of your kindness and energy need to be watched out for before they go away. We are going to talk about 4 types of elderly people that you should never help in this video. Some people will take advantage of the fact that you are kind to make you feel bad, obligated, or worried about money. Plus, they might be so good at hiding what they really want that you don't figure them out until it's too late. You should know who you shouldn't help, even if they beg, plead, or try to convince you otherwise. This will protect your mental health, your finances, and your peace of mind. Listen all the way to the end because these 4 types might change how you feel about some people in your life. If you learn how to deal with them, you will avoid a lot of pain and suffering. Don't miss a video before we start. Please subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already. To show that you like this video, click the like button in the comments section. Type 0 in the comments to let me know you don't like it. It will help me make videos for you that are better. We can begin now. The chronic taker is where it all starts. There are people who always take from others and never help them. People come to you for resources like time, money, or help when they need them, but they leave you when you're in a jam. These people are con artists, and they will steal everything you own if you aren't careful. At first, it may look like they really need your help. They say things like, "Thank you," "Be grateful," and "I will return the favor someday." But as time goes on, a pattern does start to show itself. They won't ask for your help or even check in unless they're in a jam. When they do, the conversation will always be about what they want, not what you need. A common mistake among the elderly is thinking that doing nice things to people over and over again will eventually change them. People who are chronic takers don't work that way. It's possible. If I just give them one more chance, maybe they'll finally get back on their feet. People don't value kindness because they see it as a weakness that can be used against them. Take the case of Joe, a retired 72-year-old carpenter. His younger cousin often borrowed money from him because she always had money problems. The cousin always had an excuse for what happened. He got unexpected bills, his car broke down, or he lost his job. Joe continued to help out because he was kind and felt compelled to. Even though time has passed, not much has changed. But that cousin still made bad financial decisions after all this time. For example, he borrowed money and never paid it back. Last but not least, Joe realized that being nice didn't help him, but it did make other people's lives easier. Takers never learn how to be responsible because they aren't forced to. They won't change as long as people like you keep saving them. They get what they want from people who can't say no, and when their patience wears thin, they just go find someone who can. You will never again feed or help someone like this. It's not necessary to be polite or give an explanation. We only need to say one thing: "I'm not able to help right now." They don't owe you anything after years of being nice to them. Set limits right away to protect your health and make sure your kindness goes to people who deserve it. The second type is the emotional manipulator. Life has people who never ask for help directly. Instead, they make you feel bad until you offer it yourself. They know how to get you to feel like you owe them something by making you feel guilty, sorry, or even angry. These people know how to play with your emotions. And if you're not careful, they can make you feel like you're to blame for their success, failure, or even happiness. You might be able to spot them because they always talk about how much they hurt. It's not that they ask, "Can you help me?" Instead, they sigh and say, "I don't know what I'm going to do," hoping that you will help them. They hint at their problems and act like they're too busy to help. If you don't, they make you feel selfish. They will suddenly become cold, act disappointed, or even lash out if you try to say no. For them, your limits are just things that get in the way of getting what they want. Emotional manipulators take away more than just your resources. They also take away your energy. If you give up everything for them, you'll always feel like you can't do enough. People expect more from you the more you help them. They never acknowledge your problems, but they always let you know about theirs. The worst part is that they often pretend to be friends, family, or even loved ones, which makes it even harder to spot them. Take Helen, a retired nurse who is 68 years old. Martha, who had been her friend for a long time, had always been the helpless one. When something went wrong in Martha's life, like a broken appliance, money problems, or a fight with her family, she went to Helen, not for advice, but to find a way to fix it. Helen thought that good friends wouldn't turn their backs on each other, so she felt like she had to help. But as time went on, she noticed something. Whenever Helen needed help, Martha was either too busy, too tired, or just not interested. The friendship was only good for one person, and Helen was worn out from always having to save the day. It's important to remember that real relationships are balanced. Someone is not a friend if they only reach out to you when they need something and not when you need them. That's called manipulation. And if they make you feel bad for setting limits, that's even more of a reason to leave. You're not in charge of fixing everyone's issues. You can refuse to do something. You don't have to explain your choice to anyone if you choose to put yourself first. People who really care about you will respect your boundaries. People who don't were never really on your side to begin with. The third type is the careless spender. When it comes to family and close friends, money can be a touchy subject. A lot of older people feel like they need to help the people they care about, especially if one of them is having money problems. But there is a difference between helping someone who is having a hard time and giving money to someone who always makes bad choices with money. If you're not careful, the wrong person can take all of your savings and leave you open to harm while continuing to act recklessly. Someone who always seems to be broke but never seems to learn from their mistakes is a reckless spender. They spend more than they have, get into debt, and buy things they don't need, but they always expect you to fix their money problems when they run out. That's all they'll say, but as soon as you help them, they'll find a way to get into the same trouble again. At first, what they want might seem reasonable. Following the loss of their job, they may ask for help with their rent. They might say that all they need is a little help to get back on track. But as time goes on, it becomes clear. Their money problems aren't just bad luck. They're caused by bad choices. And instead of taking care of themselves, they depend on people like you to be kind and help them stay afloat. Take Ron, a retired mechanic who is 74 years old. His grandson had always had trouble with money. He went from job to job and spent all of his money as soon as he got it. He thought it would help his grandson get back on his feet. So when he asked for money to pay his bills, Ron gave it to him. But after months, nothing changed. The requests kept coming in, sometimes for rent, sometimes for car repairs, and sometimes for emergencies that seemed like they were caused by bad planning. Ron finally understood that his financial help wasn't fixing the issue. It was just letting his grandson keep avoiding responsibility. The harsh truth is that you can't save someone from being careless with their money. There is a lack of discipline, not a lack of money, so no matter how much you give, it will never be enough. Helping them will hurt you too, because you'll be making things easier for them. A lot of older people get into financial trouble because they put helping others ahead of planning for their own future. They give out loans that are never paid back, spend all their savings to help family and friends, and put themselves at risk of not having enough money for retirement. However, the truth is that if you run out of money, no one will help you. The people you help today won't be the ones paying your bills tomorrow. You can say no if someone in your life doesn't want to handle their money responsibly, no matter how bad they sound or how guilty they make you feel. You don't owe anyone money. Keeping yourself safe should always be your first priority, since you are the only one responsible for your own health and safety. The fourth one is the perpetual victim. Some people always put the blame on others for their problems. It is never their fault, no matter what. They always have an excuse for why things didn't go as planned, why they can't seem to get ahead, or why they're having so much trouble. These people are always the victims, and if you're not careful, they'll drag you into their cycle of bad feelings, which will drain your energy and emotions. They might look like they just need a little help or encouragement at first. They talk about how unfair life has been, how people have been mean to them, or how they've had one setback after another. You listen, you understand, and you give advice. Soon, though, you start to see a pattern. No matter what solutions you offer, they always come up with a reason why they won't work. That's not what they want. They want to be told that their life is unfair and that nothing is ever their fault. People who are kind and want to help often become victims all the time. They know that someone will try to make things better if they tell a sad enough story. But things never change, even if you help them a lot. They keep complaining about the same things that keep happening to them instead of doing anything about it. You quickly learn that your help isn't changing anything. It's only adding to their cycle. Take Linda, a retired teacher who is 71 years old. Karen was an old friend who was always having trouble. Karen had trouble paying her bills one month and then was upset with her boss the next. Then she talked about how no one stood by her, how everyone always lied to her, and how she could never get a break. Linda felt bad for her, so she gave her emotional support, money, and even connected her with job opportunities. Darlene did many things, but Karen always had something new to say, something bad to happen, or an excuse. Linda finally understood that Karen wasn't looking for answers, just someone to feel sorry for. Being a victim all the time means that someone doesn't want to change. If they did, they would own up to their mistakes and start making better decisions. They should let go of their problems, but they don't. Being a victim gives them attention, an excuse, and an easy way out. They need you to keep their story alive even more, the more you help them. It's exhausting to help someone who won't help themselves. It drains your emotional strength, makes you angry, and makes you feel like their problems are yours to carry. You will never really know how much they appreciate your work because they will always think that nothing you do is enough. The best thing you can do for someone who is always the victim is to take a step back. Stop trying to solve their problems and feeling sorry for them all the time. Also, stop letting their bad moods bother you. If someone doesn't want to be saved, you are not responsible for them. Last thoughts. Take a moment to think about the 4 types of people we talked about in this video. Do any of them sound like people you've met? You may have been drained by someone who takes all the time and never gives anything back, or you may have been made to feel guilty for setting limits. Stop giving your time, energy, and resources to people who don't deserve them, and look out for your own health if any of these sound like you. It should be peaceful to get older, not stressful. You've built a life and learned a lot along the way. Don't let people who are always taking, manipulating your emotions, spending too much, or being victims take away the happiness and safety you deserve right now. To have a happy old age, you need to be smart about where you spend your kindness. It's good to help other people. It shows you have a good heart, but not everyone deserves your kindness. You don't have to fix other people's mistakes. You don't have to save someone who doesn't want to be saved, and you don't have to give your time or resources to people who take them and never give them back. Promise yourself that you will put yourself first from now on. Put yourself around people who like you, respect your boundaries, and make your life better. Use your time well because it is valuable. Thanks for being here today. Please get in touch with us. Tell us what you learned today and how you're going to use it in your life in the comments below. We care about what you think, so don't be shy about telling us. We feel very motivated and encouraged when we read your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you liked it and found it useful. Thanks for your support. It lets us keep making good content for you to learn from and be inspired by. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.